Namaskar. Welcome to another episode of Editorial. Mr. Yashwant Sinha, former Union Minister of India, Union Finance Minister of India, joined the Trinamool Congress. Now, is it that simple? What is the larger picture? Let us discuss the larger picture behind Mr. Yashwant Sinha joining Trinamool. That's my topic number one. My topic number two is about the quadrilateral framework or the Quad, where the four leaders of India, United States of America, Japan, and Australia met. Mr. Modi spoke about democracy. Let's talk that and let's get right into the show. So Yashwant Sinha today joined the Trinamool Congress. Lot of questions. What is Yashwant Sinha doing in Kolkata? Will it make a difference to Trinamool Congress? Will it make a difference at all? Now, a lot of these questions are asked today. The fact is, Yashwant Sinha joining Trinamool Congress has a larger picture. At least that's what I think. The larger picture is this is the first step of Trinamool Congress. This is the first step Trinamool Congress is taking towards becoming a national party. And probably this is the first step that Ms. Mamata Banerjee is taking towards becoming the face of the opposition. That is the prime ministerial face of the opposition parties. Remember, I have been saying this for quite some time now. The chances are TMC would win the West Bengal elections. I don't say this. The opinion polls say this. So chances are they win the Bengal elections. And if they win very convincingly, the fact that Mamata Banerjee would come through as a sure shot opposition united prime ministerial face is more or less sure. Now, that is one end of the story. Like I said, we have been talking about this for quite some time. I repeat what I said before. Now, let us come to the next part of the story. Trinamool Congress as a party is moving towards being a nationally recognized and a national party. Yashwant Sinha, Arun Shourie, Shatrughan Sinha, who is currently with Congress but not doing anything much for Congress, Yogendra Yadav, Prashant Bhushan. These are people waiting on the anvil to get a political platform. To a very, very major extent, Yashwant Sinha was a spokesperson for this gang. To a very major extent. The chances are Yashwant Sinha joining TMC officially may also have the string joining TMC in the near future. Now, a lot of y'all will ask me, in loga ke kya fayda hai? You think because these people come, people will vote for them, that will be a party? No. But the fact remains that imagery-wise, perception-wise, Trinamool Congress will get the perception of a national party. This is one end of the story. Let us keep it at one side. Mind you, something else is cooking on the other side. And what is cooking on the other side is the G23. G23 has people like Ghulam Nabi Azad, Kapil Sibal, Anand Sharma, Bhupendra Singh Hooda, Prithviraj Chavan. Prithviraj Chavan, one doesn't know whether it's in this side or that side, but all the same, Manish Tiwari, so on and so forth. 23 people. That's cooking on the other side. Now, a platform, a national political platform is all that all of these people are seeking, a national political platform. With the entry of Yashwant Sinha, could Trinamool be that platform? With all of a sudden Mamata Banerjee rising up to be a very, very, very formidable national face, national prime ministerial candidate for the opposition, would Trinamool be the platform that these people are searching for? Possibly, yes. Trinamool could be that platform. Trinamool could be that platform. In fact, after Sharad Pawar, assuming that Mulayam Singh Yadav is not very active in politics, after Sharad Chandra Pawar of Maharashtra, I think Mamata Banerjee is the most experienced and senior politician in India. I think she is definitely one of the most popular politicians in India. She is a very popular politician in India, and her popularity is growing day by day. People are accepting and understanding the fact that the only person who can go on the street and fight the juggernaut of Mr. Narendra Modi and Amit Shah is Mamata Banerjee, because she is a street fighter and she can do that. The only person who can stand the might, no matter what, of a Bharatiya Janata Party is Mamata Banerjee and her TMC. So empowering Mamata Banerjee and the TMC and all these people coming together and standing behind Mamata Banerjee and her TMC will ensure that TMC becomes a very formidable opposition party. Then what happens to Congress? That's a good question. Whether Congress would then like to align with the Trinamool Congress. NCP would like to align with the Trinamool Congress. TDP would like to align with the Trinamool Congress. I think chances are they would. Because in 2019, there were very clear indications that all these people are coming together, and there was very clear indication that chances are that Mamata Banerjee and Sharad Pawar and Congress and all would come together as an opposition party had they got the chance to form the government. In terms of number, of course, 303, they had no chance, so all that went haywire. But behind the curtains, they were planning to form that government. So my point is, let's not just take Yashwant Sinha's entry into Trinamool Congress just as another possibly almost retired politician joining Trinamool Congress. Take that as a clarion call, which possibly Trinamool Congress is making to say that, listen, we are coming to Delhi. So yesterday, the quadrilateral framework met online. This was a combination of 4 countries. Quadrilateral framework is a combination of 4 countries. The countries include the United States of America. So President Biden was there. Australia. So Prime Minister Morrison was there. Japan. So Prime Minister Suga was there. And of course, India. And Prime Minister Modi attended on behalf of India. So the 4 heads of state had discussed, amongst a lot of things, they discussed about how to keep the Indo-Pacific free, open and free. That was the discussion that actually was the highlighting factor of yesterday's Quad meeting. Now, I'm not going to talk much about Quad because not my area of expertise. We have Dr. Sahasra Buddhe to talk about it. She will be able to give you a detailed analysis and detailed understanding of Quad and what exactly took place. But I want to talk about one subject. I want to talk about what Mr. Narendra Modi said, and what Mr. Narendra Modi said yesterday was, we are united by our democratic values and our commitment to a free, open and inclusive Indo-Pacific.
Excellencies, we are united by our democratic values and our commitment to a free, open and inclusive Indo-Pacific. Our agenda today, covering areas like vaccines, climate change and emerging technologies, make the Quad a force for global good. I see this positive vision as an extension of India's ancient philosophy of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, which regards the world as one family.
Now, before I get into the actual story, let me tell you, the vaccine diplomacy of India has actually worked. A lot of countries talk good about India today because of our vaccine diplomacy and the fact that we distributed vaccine to a lot of countries. That has really changed. That has really done good for our image. But that being said, The first line is what got my attention. We are united by our democratic values. Now, on one end, the Prime Minister of India talks about democratic values of our country and how much we value our democracy. On the other end, an international institute from Sweden called the Vidum Institute says that we are no longer a democratic country, their report says. They say we are an electoral autocracy. They say we are not a democracy anymore. In fact, to quote what they've written, India's autocratization process has largely followed the typical pattern for countries in the third wave over the past 10 years. A gradual deterioration where freedom of the media, academia, and civil society were curtailed first and to greatest extent. This was what the VDM report said. They went on to write that Narendra Modi led the Bharatiya Janata Party to victory in India's 2014 elections. They say this marked with a vertical dashed line in the figure below. I will talk to you about the figure below. And most of the decline occurred following BJP's victory and their promotion of Hindu nationalist agenda. Now, the figures that these people are talking about, let me take you through that too. India's level of liberal democracy registered at 0.34 by the end of 2020 after a steep decline from its high at 0.57 in 2013. This is the decline they spoke about. This is the decline in the numbers they spoke about. This represents 23 percentage points drop on the 0 to 1 LDI scale. So we were 0.57 in 2013 and today in the democratic scale we are 0.34. So there is a definite decline. What they talk about is the way Modi government has been shutting media, shutting people who speaks against the government. Shutting people. In fact, I will take back my words. Nobody speaks against the government. I don't think people speak against the government. They speak against the policies of the government. They speak against certain steps that the government takes. Nobody, I think, has a problem with anybody or any individual or any government. Why should they? If there is no problem, there is no problem. Like I said before, if you are doing well, how can somebody talk against you? But the fact is, curtailing media, curtailing intelligentsia, curtailing journalists is not only something that we Indians are facing, but the world is watching us. In fact, the report goes on to talk about the number of sedition cases that this government has filed against people. Deshdroha cases, let me call it Deshdroha cases. Our consultant editor, Mr. Vinod Dua, is fighting a Deshdroha cases. A Padma Shri Award winner is fighting a Deshdroha cases. A 67-year-old senior journalist is fighting a Deshdroha case. I still haven't understood what Deshdroha Act has that man done. So the point is, while we talk about democracy, which means that our Premier, our Prime Minister knows how important it is to ensure that we still stay a democracy, somewhere down the line, when sedition cases or curtailing digital media or curtailing OTT platform or curtailing whatever happens, the moment you talk the language of curtailing, what you are actually doing is curtailing the democracy itself. People who speak against the government is not necessarily speaking against the country. Country is different, government is different. Speaking against the government is never speaking against the country. So somewhere down the line, the only point that I wanted to make is, Prime Minister, even today, the world looks at us as a democracy. The respect that we have, the imagery that we carry is because of the democracy that we were. The day that democracy is taken away from this country, the day policies are made that curbs the democracy, this country will not have the same image that it has. You will not have the same image that you today currently enjoy in the world. So, for the country's sake, the government's sake, and for your own sake, please ensure that our country stays democratic. Our country people still have the right to express and, if need be, criticize the government. That will only add to our democratic empowerment and not take away anything from our country. Till I see you next time. Namaskar.
Hello everyone. HW News English is 2 years old now. When we started this venture, we promised ourselves one thing, that news should remain free, because right to know is the right of every Indian. But to keep news free for everyone, we need support from some of you. And thus we have rolled out membership on our YouTube channel HW News English. But mind you, the membership is completely voluntary. The programs that we were doing earlier, that we are doing now, will continue to remain free. First level is a basic level. Here, you can be our supporter by paying rupees 199 per month. This membership gives you certain perks and benefits. The perks include unique badges in front of your name, a live show from Mr. Sujit Nair and from Mr. Akhilesh Bhargava per month for our members. You can also vote in some exclusive members-only polls. Now the second level is Super Supporter. Here you can be our Super Supporter by paying rupees 3,999 per month. This membership will include every perk that comes with basic level. Additionally, our Super Supporters can be a part of a WhatsApp group where we can have discussions and suggestions on various topics. The second perk includes a gift pack with our merchandise. And the third perk is a Google Meet with Mr. Sujit Nair, where you can join the meet and ask your questions to Mr. Nair face to face. Lastly, if you like, we would give a shout out to our super supporters in our programs. So, hope to see you soon with our badges.
The emerging backbone of India's economy are our startups. They represent India's youth. They represent India's aspirations. They represent India's hopes. They represent our fight against an insensitive bureaucracy, against an insensitive system. They represent the fight of our startup entrepreneurs against an indifferent system, against an insensitive banker, against challenges of dealing with the government, and against all the odds with which they started a startup. Every startup begins with a brilliant idea, a unique idea, an idea which nobody else thought of, and that becomes a business enterprise. We are starting our next episode series on what we call Startup Stories. It is our curiosity to know what was that idea, what was the motivation, what was the determination because of which one talented entrepreneur, without any background of business perhaps, decided to venture out on his own and create a successful enterprise. These are the ideas that motivate us also. If you have a startup story which is interesting, we would want to talk to you also. Come back to us with your own startup stories, and you might also be the person we would like to talk to.